What's up, everyone? That's right. It's score motor time. Score motor? Yeah, score motor. We'll call it score motor. Okay. I took the brackets off of it for the simple fact that I didn't feel like moving everything around. Yeah, I'll use the original. It's nicer. It's top 10. So we're going to use it. And it was, give me a chance to kind of look at this a little bit more too as well. But, there's some subtle differences. I kind of went over and looked at everything on this. I have both of the score motor readouts for Blue Max and Top 10, so I can reference back and forth as to if, things are the same on Blue Max as they are with Top 10. From what I can see, cam 1 and 4 are different. Cam 4 is an easy one. Cam 4 has 2 switches on it, one on either side. On Top 10, Blue Max only has 1, but there's 3 switches. Both of these are for target reset. Let's see. Cam 4C, no, it's the only one. Reset 1 and 2 drop targets, and then you have impulse lock relay, impulse lock kick out, and whole unit step up. And then on Top 10 we don't have this impulse or the impulse lock relay. On Top 10 we have just reset 4 and 5 drop target and reset 1, 2, and 3 drop targets. We have 5 drop targets on Top 10, and there's only 2 on Blue Max. So if we just use these 2, 9 and 10 for our drop targets, we should be okay. The only thing I have a problem with and am concerned about is that the draw on trying to reset 5 drop targets all at once. Because on Chicago Coin, each individual drop target has a coil. That's why they split it up on Top 10. You reset 2 and reset 3. 2 drop targets, 3 drop targets. And here you're only resetting 1, but you do have a few other things going on, but it doesn't involve, does it? Kick out, whole, step up. Yep, got a coil there. And impulse lock relay, small coil. And then you have your big coil here. So you're still pulling 4 coils. 1 small one and 2 or 3 very good sized coils. Here we're pulling 5 good sized coils. So I'm not sure if it's going to handle it and keep the fuse intact. And I'm not a big fan of adding, a higher amp fuse. A little bit, yes. If it's like a 5 amp and you have a 6, okay. Maybe, depending on what you're actually doing it. Here, we may have to. We won't know until the machine resets and tries to pop up 5 drop targets all at once. It may be fine, but that's just one of my concerns here. That's about the only concern I have on the score motor. Now cam 1, there's extra switches on each one of these, I think. On all of them, I think there might be one. Yeah, there's one that is is the same, 4 and 4 on D set of switches. A on cam 1. See, on top 10 we use 6 switches. Blue Max uses 7. And B, we have 5 on top 10 and 6 on Blue Max. C, we have 4 on top 10 and 6 on Blue Max. And like I said, D is the same. E, we have 3 switches, and Blue Max had 4. Which is good that way, because top 10 has fewer than Blue Max. So we're not going to be hunting for switches to put in. I'm not going to take any out of the score motor. I will leave them in and let them float, just for the simple fact is the length of screws, and I'm just going to leave them in. They're not going to hurt nothing being left on, and it's just something you don't really need to tear it down and pull a switch out, because I want to leave them in because of the wiring too, because it looks like a lot of the wiring is the same. We have same colors. Excuse me. Now on top 10, our first 2 is motor run and impulse bonus collect relay, or out-hole relay. Blue Max is the same. Motor run and impulse bonus collect. But A3 is lock for player control. Well, we don't have player control. This is the one that is different. This is the one that is extra in Blue Max, because on 3 we have impulse target reset, and then 4, 5, and 6 are the same. Let's see, brakes credit reset, brakes center shoot, and brakes coin lockout. Brakes credit reset, center shoot, and coin lockout. So the only one that's different is this lock for player control, because we have a relay, because this is only a 2-player and Blue Max is a 4. So actually, we can skip 3 on the score motor. Be 1, 2, and then we'll skip 3, and then we'll hook up, whoops, wrong one. No, that's the right one, sorry. We can hook up 1 and 2, skip 3, and then hook up 4, 5, and 6. Now, Blue Max has a 7th, which is brake coin. Oh, wait a minute. I got you all screwed up. Oh, impulse ball count. Yeah. 3 and 4 are the ones that are different. Those are the extra ones on Blue Max than on top 10. So we could just wire up 1 and 2, skip 3 and 4, and then wire up 5, 6, and 7. But we have to look at our leaf switches and make sure that they're all the same in here. Closed when they're supposed to be closed, and open when they're supposed to be open. When they're in the notch, first one, this is a make and break, so inside's open, outside closed. And then the rest of them are going to be, that's another make and break. Or the second one is make and break, I'm sorry. No, but anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, 1 and 2, these are the same as top 10. They're set up the same. The rest of them on here, when it's in the hole, in the notch, it's closed, 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 and closed. Here, same thing. Closed, 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 and closed. So we can use everything and just leave out 6 and 7. You can use 1 through 5, 1 through 6, whatever, and we can wire it all up the same here. Yeah, there's only one difference. What the hell did I... Anyway, I'm getting everybody confused, I'm sure. Let's see, we have motor run, impulse bonus, motor run, impulse bonus. Impulse target reset is 3. No lock for player control. And then we have impulse ball count unit, and 4 is break credit. We have credit, center, and coin. We have credit, center, and coin. 7 and 6. So I think one of these we have to use on Blue Max because it's not on there. Impulse target reset. Yeah, there's no impulse target reset on Blue Max. 3 and 4 is impulse ball count unit step up. So we'll use 4 as our impulse target. So the only one we will not be using is 3. We could actually just skip 3 because it's just looks like a regular, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Now see, 3 is a make and break, so we'll have to use 3. But we can skip 7. We can leave 7 out of it and just not wire it up unless we have wiring that we need to match up. But we'll get into that once we get it in the unit. Get it in on the play field or the mech panel. I'm getting kind of screwed up. But same thing. Everything's pretty much the same. All the switches are the same. Set up the same way. Closed when they should be closed. Open when they should be open. So we're in good shape there too. Cams 2 and 3 are identical to Blue Max. So those are good. 1 here, and then here cam 1 is where we're going to have to be doing some work, because we have extra switches on Blue Max that we will not be using. Alright, now I took off one set of switches. They're sitting right there, and that's on our first cam. They go in right here. I had to take them out so I could take the screws out. Take that screw out. Like I said, I could have left those brackets on and just changed it, but whatever. Just me. Alright, so basically what's going on is we just have extra switches on cam 1 that we have to deal with. Once cam 1 is wired, I think everything else is going to kind of fall into place. 2, 3, and 4 I'm not going to have a problem with. I kind of started looking at wiring, and it does look like that Blue Max used the same wiring harness as Top 10, just that they added wires to Blue Max for the extra switches. I'll show you. Let's take Blue Max over and introduce it to Top 10. Blue Max, this is Top 10. Top 10, this is Blue Max. I hope you two play nice together. And I'll get that screwed down here off camera, no big deal. Okay. Now here's the first set of switches. This is A. And inside is motor run and impulse bonus. On here we have black or white with a black mark. Gonna tell you again, I did in the last video, that I have a problem with I'm slightly dyslexic, so when I call out wiring, half the time I'm gonna do the last one first. Like this is white black or yellow black. I have a habit, and I can't help it. That's the way my mind works, that it's black yellow. Sorry. Just gonna have to live with it. I do. And let's see, we have 2 white black our inside switch. And you can tell this was on the inside switch, and that's white black. That's our motor. It runs all the way around and hooks up here, which comes out of the wiring harness here. So we know our motor's going to be fine. And then the next one looks like it would be that brown yellow, or plastic coated white yellow. And we get down in here and see, here's where we may have a problem. We have green. Looks like. I know it's going to be easier. I'm going to remove this switch on cam 2 so we can really look at it really good. But it looks like, and see, there's jumpers in there and everything, and that's going to be for those two heavy green ones, or just green. I think those are just green, and this plastic coated green one. And see here, our green ones are way out here. So we may have a problem, Houston. Now on the outside one we have too heavy white, and here we have too heavy white. So you can see some of this is going to be similar. So we're going to be able to wire up some stuff pretty easily just by matching up the colors, and then the rest of it we'll have to start tracing and figuring out which ones we need to use. And this solid green plastic coated one may be a jumper, and it just got cut when they were cutting it out. Because if you come over here, there's jumpers that are, and they use the green plastic. Same here. Nothing in the wiring harness, but we have one that's cut, which could be a jumper there, and you can see the bottom's a jumper. So it may be something that they're just, you know, that they're pulling power right off of a leg on the switch to carry up to the other switch. And that's what I'm kind of figuring. But that's something else that we will have to get into. As you can, let's see. Yeah, because see that green, that's the, is that the repair light? So you can see your fuses when you open the door. So I know some of them have a big light bulb in there. This one may have the little one. That's not one of the, that's not a delay. That's not part of the, because it goes right up to the fuse panel, a 10 amp. Yeah, that should be a repair light. That's always on, so when you open the door you can see your fuses. I know you're saying, well, when you open the door with the machine on, the play field lights the inside. Well, if you blow a fuse, it's dark. And this comes off of the, I think that probably comes right off of the power, so that light would always be on. Unless the machine's turned off. Because this, I don't think this one has a, I think this only has a kick shut off. This doesn't have a regular switch underneath. Or does it? Let's take a look at the cabinet. Yeah, it does. And your battery's flashing. Cool. So, I am going to get this all screwed down. I'm going to remove that, and then we're going to take a look at that wiring a little closer on BlueMax and see if how much of that we can match up. I do know that the wires are going to be a little short. I mean, they were cut off nice and close, which is good. We may have to, I really don't feel like jumpering this thing to death with 300 pieces of jumpers and all that. I'd really like to wire up as much of this as I can with what's here. Most of it will. We won't have a problem with that. I think maybe the only one that we will is A, switch bank A. Alright, let me get your battery changed before you puke out on me. Now, I got the first two switches hooked up. The big green one's on the bottom, and then we have our, what was that? That's our Impulse, let me look real quick, Impulse Bonus Collect, and our motor. Those two. Okay, now we're at number 3, which on here is Top 10 Blue Max. See, on the score motor, it's going to be lock for player control relay. That's the Blue Max. That's our score motor we're using. This is our top 10. This is our wiring. Our third one would be impulse target reset relay. Those two should be pretty close, but what I'm going to do here is, since the very last one is, the 3 are the same, the coin, center, and credit. Coin, center, and credit. And from the looks of it, looks like we're pretty good here too, as far as we have the two big white, which will go out here on the end. This is a plastic coated red with a black stripe, but I don't see that particular one in this loom. So we're going to have to kind of figure out what's going on here. Here, see, here's another, this is another plastic orange. But see, right down here, the second one in, which is the center shoot relay. There's 2 wires. It's black with red. And then here we have 2 of them. There's one and there's the other. There's 2 of those that'll go on here. What I'm going to do is I'm kind of going to go through here and I'm going to put on everything I see that is the same. Okay, but we have some of them down in there that, okay, there's a, looks like a maroon or red with a blue marking, and there's a red with a blue. It's either blue, that's green, but that's the only other red one in that mess. So that one will probably go down on there. And then this one, that's really hard to tell what the heck that is. But we have all of these that are plastic. The only one that we have as plastic is a black and a white with a yellow stripe. So like I said, it's going to be kind of tricky. Yep, see, there's another, and there's an orange and blue, which this could be, that could be the red, and that looks like the orange, kinda. But let's see, we have our coin. Yeah, coin lockout. Coin lockout, which is our very last one. Coin lockout should be on this Jones plug, because this is what goes to the coin door. So if we can locate it, and we can kind of determine what this one should be, the black, or red with a black, excuse me. Center shoot, and then see, we still have a credit reset button. Okay, credit reset button should be our start button on our door. Again, that should be on here. that one, and then there's this that little one. I'm almost positive that the coin door is on that one too. Or is that may be the chimes. But I'm gonna have to do a little digging here and see if I can't figure out that top one. So let me take a peek and see what I can come up with. Okay, we have A bank all wired up on cam 1, and this is A7 on cam 2. These all line up. This would all be A, B, and then the whole bank C, D, and E. So even if it says A7 and there's only 6 leaf switches, it's the one right above it'll be, you know, the 7. So you start at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up. Like, let's see, a little better would be maybe C. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, and 9. So you can kind of, when you're looking at schematics, it's easier to figure out. You know, they're saying A7. Well, I'm working down here, and there's only 6. Well, right above it is 7. Okay, so we have A done, and now we're going to start on the B. And just to kind of make sure of things here before I get, you know, the colors matching up. See, here we have brown and yellow. We have 2 brown and yellows. This had 2 of them on there because one of them, the sleeve come off. It's right here. So those both are brown and yeller. We have 2 brown and yellers, and then underneath is a yeller. But, you know, this is what will kind of mess you up when you're, you know, you kind of have to think it out of the box a little bit, I guess. Because B1 on top 10 is, that's D. B1 is lock for coin control relay, and that's top 10. Blue Max B1 is, oh yeah, lock for coin control relay. Well, I was looking at something different then. But let's see, Blue Max we have 6. Wrong one. We have 6. And top 10 we only need 5. So we'll have another extra. On A, you can see we have number 3 is our extra. I just left it out because it just the way they fell, and I'm going to do the same thing here with B. Let's see, so we have B1, and then we have 2, which is Impulse Player Control Unit Step Up, is B2. On top 10, it's Impulse Ball Count, Switch, and First Player Match. So B2, bingo! We need to find B2 just to kind of match up the numbers. I did B1, showed you on the switches and the wires, and you can see here's B1, the circle meaning this is our score motor, brown and yellow, 2 of them coming off and going to our switch, and then we have the old yeller stain, which is down there, and now we need to find B2. There's D, and we can kind of see how, if we are gonna be able to just match up the colors and keep moving right along. There's B2, which is red and yeller and black and blue. and you can see B2 jumps over to D3, but we're not going to worry about that right at the moment. We need to see if we have red and yellow and black and blue on that second switch. And second switch, we got red and yellow, and underneath here it is, it's right there, and there's black and old blue. Remember, this is Blue Max. Now let's see if we have, there's black and blue, little limp there, and we need two red and yellows. There's one red and yellow, and there's the other red and yellow. So see, we can go ahead and just kind of move right through here and match up all those colors, and we'll have one set in here that will be dead. There'll be some wires on here that we won't find in our loom. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start getting this all wired up too. And if I run into anything weird or funky, you know, I'll bring you back. But so far we're able to just keep matching wire colors. This long wire used to go to A because it was up top here for our target reset, and we're going to be using this bank here for our target reset, so we won't have any problems bringing it over to there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get started and start putting some wires in, and like I said, if I have any problems or run into anything funky, I'll bring you back. Oh, just a little side note here, that on the one on A bank, this was green, which was that plastic coated green, and our top here, this wire here for our, that is A8 or A7 on cam 2. There's cam 2, A7 impulse credit unit 3 steps, and it's supposed to be I had the white with a yellow stripe left over, and this is what was soldered up on there, which if you look really close, it is white with a yellow stripe, only this is cloth coated, and top 10 was plastic coated. Same with, like I said, this was a green one, so I went and checked on the schematics and found it, and that's where the black's supposed to be. So we got that all squared away as well. But you never know, we could still have some problems here, you know. You don't know when you get into something this tight. Okay, I'm going to get the B wired up. I'll get started on it and probably bring you back from time to time, maybe. Maybe not. I may just go ahead and put my nose to the grindstone and get that one all wired in, and then bring you back when it's done. B is done. This one was kind of interesting because I had a, that goes to our reset. That'll come over here to this. We have this outer leaf that's not being used. That's the extra one. And then I had one, this orange and red, I could not find. It was not in here. Everything else all went into place where it belonged. I even checked with the schematics and that, make sure I'm putting them where they belong. But I still had this one. I could not find it. It was not in there or there. So I got to thinking about it, and let's see, on Top 10 B3 impulse ball. B3, you can see it's just a regular switch, just a break. Blue Max B3 is a make and break. So I have it set up so it's always made and it'll break when it drops into the hole, or it's open, and then when it drops into the hole in the cam it'll close. And I wanted to make sure, so I come over and you can see B3 red and blue is the target reset relay, and it's only a single open normally, so it's always here at this home position, which is in the notch. And here's our red and blue, come across, and you can see it's open. Or while the normal is like so, up on top. So it's open, it closes this side, and that's the side that I was questioning, and we don't use it. So when it falls in the hole, it closes and starts the target relay, target reset relay, or yeah, impulse target relay. So that was the only problem that I had with that. Took me a little time to kind of figure that out, and everything else is in place. Now we got to move on to C, which is down here on the bottom. There's four sets here. This is the one that I'm going to take this one off. This is the one we're going to be using for our target reset. And so nothing's going to match up here because this is used differently. Got everything all cut apart so I can get everything kind of routed where it needs to be. This one was cut, that belongs up there. That's a jumper. And same with this green. This green one is a jumper. Jumps up top here. Takes power from down below and brings it up to your other leaf switches. So, but I think that's going to be in the next episode, or next part of this, because I think this one's been running pretty long. So I'm going to break it here, and we'll pick up in the next part wiring C, D, and E. And then we have to work on our reset, our target reset relay. So I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it for you, and I hope to see you on the next one. On the next part when we finish wiring up our score motor. So until then, take care. See ya. Alright, A and B down. Okay, now we're on to C. And from the looks of it, you know, same thing. We have a lot of, mostly everything on here I see. All these colors are up in here, and a couple of them floating around. Got these two here. We have a red, or green and red, excuse me. And we have two green and reds. These two here, I have not been able to find two of them. There's one, but it's a little smaller. But that color is the only one here. This brown and white, or brown and cream, or maroon, or whatever. And then I think there's a couple in here, red and white. We have one red and white here, but nothing else. Now see, some of these come in, the ones with doubles, like the white and the green, they come in and come in and go to the terminal, and then come off and go over to another spot over here. You can see here where a couple of these jump off into this other loom that goes to D and E. So they're just picking up power running from here to there. Same with the white. See, the white goes over, and it's going to be out here somewhere. Yeah, there it is, down in there in D. This one, this blue and red, you can see it comes in here off of our main loom and then jumps off over here and goes to either D or E. Looks like E somewhere, or I don't see it at all. So, well, that might be one. That could be that one right there, that the jacket's off of it altogether. But we'll figure that out when we get to it. Our top one, this is the one I took it off. That's the one we're going to be using for our drop target reset. Yeah, I have a little pesty at my feet. She's the only kitty left, so she gets a little lonely. Don't you? Yep, something got her attention. She likes it when I have the door open. She can come out and pester me, and then she sits over there by the door, behind the door. There's a mouse back in there somewhere. Back by my hot water tank, she sits over there and waits for it. Alright, so I'm going to go through and do what I have been doing with A and B, is I'm just going to match up my colors and get everything wired in, and then, you know, whatever we don't have left over. Let's see, because here we have, what do we got, 1, 2, well, we can come over here and look. Top 10 on C has four switches, and on Blue Max there's 6. So we have 6 switches here, and we're only going to be using 4 of them. So we're going to have some wires left over, and we have to figure out, make sure that when we leave out a switch here off the score motor, that it's not a make and break, that it has to be in here on our top 10. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get busy and start doing some wiring, and if I run into anything stupid, weird, I'll bring you back and we'll go over it together. Okay, we got C all done, and this is what's hanging out extra. These two, this one goes up to the top switch, and so does this one. That's a power jumper. This one won't be used, and some of these other ones were jumpers going up. So we're okay so far, I think, on C. Like I said, I'm going to leave those on just for reference in case we have a problem later on. Okay, now D, we have some different colors here for D that we're going to have to use the schematics for. See, we have a plastic coated orange one here, but there's no stripe on it. And we have an orange plastic coat with a green stripe on it. And we have a kind of a light orange with nothing on it, and we don't have anything in here except for an orange and green. So we're going to go take a look. That's D4. And you can see D4 takes green and black and orange and green. So our plastic coat will go on one side, and now we need a green and a black for the other side. And for that we have 2. See, we have a double. So we're going to put those 2 on the bottom and that plastic coat orange green on the top. And see, on here, on this switch, they had 2 wires on the top. And that one's gone, and so is that one down there, which is switch D3, and we'll get to that one next. So let me get this one wired up, and then we'll just kind of move from the outside in, starting with 4, and then 3, 2, and 1, because we know on 1 we have the 2 big green ones that go on there. That's going to be power going in there, coming in, and then jumping over to here to power the switches, or that switch anyway, which D1, let's see, cam 1, D1, cam 1, D1 is impulse, thousands relay on top 10, and Blue Max, let's see, D1, cam 1 is impulse, thousands relay. So see, we're good there. That's going to be a heavy one going up to the, that has to travel from the score motor all the way to the back, up to the back panel. So let me get this one wired up. We'll get D4 wired up, and then we'll move on to D3. Alright, D3, you can see we have a red yellow, and this one's missing a coating, so we don't know for sure what that one is, so we'll use the schematics again. And here is D3. This is for the second coin return. And you can see we have our red yellow, which that one we have, and this other one is black blue. Comes off of B2 down, all hooks together off of the second coin relay. Should be coming in and then going out. 2-second player 10 to 90 disc is a yellow green coming off of this relay here. Second coin relay. So we should have a black blue. And guess what? We don't have a black blue. Now remember, we're looking at top 10 schematics, and this is top 10 wiring harness. So where's our black blue? This is kind of a maroon blue. If you follow it back where it's been in the loom, it is still maroon blue. Maroon, yeah, kinda. It may be black blue. So we're gonna hook up our red yellow right here. We'll get that hooked up, and then we'll move on and keep moving through, and then whatever's left, we'll see what's left, and if it's that one, then we know that's probably where it goes, and we can check on our coin relay and see if it is on there. So let me get this one, the D3, hooked up, the red yellow, and then we'll move to D2. Okay, got our red, yellow, yeller hooked up. Now let's go to D2, which is right here. Okay, D2 goes to the total play counter. Wow. And start relay. So once it hits you hit the start relay, it trips, and then it'll trip the counter, and then come over and go up and over to the game over relay, make sure it's open. If it's open, then it'll, or closed, whichever. Closed. That's open, but then it has to close and to complete everything along with your coin relay. Okay, enough of that crap. Okay, white red. One side, gray yeller stain. Okay, white red and gray yeller stain. And that'll be our D2. So I'll get them hooked up and then we'll move on to D1. Alright, got those two hooked up. Now we're down to D1. We know our two heavy green ones are going to go up there. And this is what we have left. Excuse me. We have a green orange, which I'm thinking is going to go here with this other green orange. And let's take a look and see what... Okay, D1 comes off of our bonus collect relay. This solid is our green. That's our green there. And then on the other side is a blue-red, normally open. So we should have a blue-red, which here is our blue-red. That goes down to the bottom. You can see that that's what was there, was blue-red. Two green, our two heavy greens going to go on the top. And put the blue-red down on the bottom. I am going to put this orange-green up top here with the other orange-green on D3, D4. And this is the one we have left. It's supposed to be a black-blue, but that's not a black-blue, but it has the blue on it. Like I said, more of a maroon, but yeah, it's just what you run into. It's not faded, but it's just, could be an error on the schematics, or it could be just wiring harness. Could be anything, but I'm sure this is the one that goes there because that's all that's left. We put that one, put the red blue over here, the other orange green with the other orange green, and that's all that's left, and we have one empty right down there, so I'm sure that's where it goes. So I'm going to get that one, D1, wired up, get the other two wires put on, and our 4 D switches will be done. And then we have to move to E, to this cluster of crap, which is here. And so let me get this, let me get D switches finished up, and then we'll take a look at this. Take a look at E. Okay, on to E. I took the let's see, 5 and 6 off, which would be 6 and 7 on Blue Max. And we're going to start down here on the bottom, cam 1, like we normally do, and work our way up. I'm going to work my way in, just for the simple fact is I have some wires here that are, I can go ahead and hook up our heavy green ones. Have our 2 coming off, and this one here, you know, if you look at it, looks like a white and red, and that is kind of a nasty looking butt. If we go to the schematics, and that would be D3 or E3, excuse me, which is our tilt switches. We have our heavy greens coming in, and then we have a brown and red. This, like I said, this looks white, but in our loom, that definitely is brown. Brown and red. So that's going to go there, and our 2 heavy green ones will go down below. And then we can move inward. Now, Blue Max has 4 switches on cam 1. Top 10 only needs 3. You can see E, we have 1, 2, 3. Cam 1E is lock for target reset impulse bonus unit reset, and lock for out hole relay. Which is weird, because you look at here and it says E3 is lock for out hole relay. Come over here to E3 and it's okay, there's tilt switch. Okay, out hole relay. Excuse me, I was looking down below here, but E3 is our out hole relay. Okay, got that squared away in my little head. But anyway, 1, 2, and 3 we have normally closed, normally open, normally closed. Here we have normally closed, normally open, normally open, normally closed. So we're going to, this number 3 is off. We don't need it. We could either do away with 2 or 3 because those are both normally open, and our number 2 is going to be normally open. So we could use either 2 or 3. We're just going to do 1, 2, and 4 on our switches here. I think that's what we're going to end up doing. We'll see how it works out, but I'm pretty sure from the looks of the wiring that it's going to be 1, 2, and 4 is what we're going to use, because of the colors matching up and looking pretty close to the same. Let's see, this green one here that's cut goes down. It's a jumper to this one down here. When they were cutting this out, you know, you stick your cutters in and just start cutting, and jumpers got cut. This one didn't, and neither did this one here, but this one must have been sticking in the way and it got cut. Probably. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get 3 wired, and then we'll move inward and see what the heck we can come up with on this. I know we have the big white one. That big white one's fine. This thing looks like something like a white and black. And see, we have 2 white and blacks, which are our score motor run. So this one's, that one, there's the yellow. There. See, we don't have a red. Well, yeah, we have a red up top there. But this funky one here we do not have. Now we have these 2 here, which is brown and blue. And we have orange and red. So we're going to have to do a little work in here. But we have to make sure, let's see, even if the jumpers, as long as the jumpers are hooked up, even if we don't use that switch, as long as the jumpers are hooked up, they can jump and move. Okay, let's get this one, and then we'll move inward. Okay, that one's done, which would be 3, but 4 on here. We're going to skip 3, like I said. We don't need it. That'll be these 2 plastic coateds. And we'll move into here, which is 2, E2. Now, E2, you can see E2 is right here. Be our green coming in, and a white and gray. And that's our bonus collect relay. So we have, what we need is our big green that comes in one side, and then the white gray on the other side of the switch. Alright, that's going to be this one. That's kind of a, looks like a white black. And in our mess here, we have this, right here. Come on, get out of there. That guy. You can see I already got him. Got him stripped We're going to put him right there. White, gray. Now, our green. See, our big green comes in here, then we have a jumper, jumps over to the bottom of switch 2. So that's going to be our green. And then, like I said, these two are going to have to be put together, because it's another jumper for, oops, up here, that would be E4. E4? Yes, now, E4. Alright, get that one done, and then we'll move on to 1. After I get 1 done, I'm going to just go ahead and finish this up and show you the end. Okay, bottom one's done, 1 through 3, and we have 4. I did it. That one was easy too. Was our orange and black, or black and orange, excuse me. And now we're going to do 5 and 6. Okay, we have 1 in here that will match up, but then we have these 3, and this is what we have left. After we put the orange and black on, we have a orange and red and a black and brown plastic coat, and this is cloth, and this is what we have up top here. Okay, so the white, god dang it, the yellow and black E5, you can see is green coming off of our main line, and then yellow and black. Inside is 5, green. There's our jumper, jumping down to here, and then jumping down and picking up here after all the jumpers. So that one, we can go ahead and put that on. Now we have those 2, which is what did I say, E6? Yeah, E6. So let's come over here and find E6. I haven't showed you me looking these up, looking for them. There's B, everything with a circle is our score motor. So we have, see, here's E5, 7, E4. We got that one. That one was easy, just a red and then a jumper on it. C6, A2, D2, R2, D2, B4, B1, E2, E5, or B5, A2, there's A6 and C4, A5. This is kind of what you have to do if you don't know where the wires are coming from. You kind of just got to hunt through your schematics and find your score motor and start looking them for them. Just kind of a hunt. Now I know to the right there's none over there. Well, I think there might be one I found over there, but most of them are on this the left hand side of the schematics and in the middle. There's B3. You watch it. E6 will be the one over there on the left. Okay. C, D, whoop. That is E6. Orange and red, which we have. And then over on this side, we have green. Is that a 5 or that's a 6? God, it almost looks like a 5. That's the 300-point relay. 300-point relay. There is no such critter that I know of. I haven't seen that. So that's E6. So why do we have, and there's E3. I just wanted to go through and make sure that I'm not seeing that right. But yeah, that looks like kind of looks like a 6. So our orange and red we have, but it's showing a green, like it's a jumper, like there's a jumper off of it. Bonus collect, D1, C2. All come off of there. Interesting. So why would we, let me look at that again, make sure. Okay. Yeah, orange and red. So why would we have that? You know, where did... I'm going to have to look at this a little bit more and see if I can figure out what they're doing here with this black. It's either black and brown or black and gold, but I haven't seen, there's no gold in here. So that's got to be black and brown or black and yellow. Let me see if I can find that. I don't think you want to watch me hunt down through that. Or is it? Could it be? Maybe. No. Okay, let me do some investigation, some investigative work, and see if I can figure out where that one, what they're doing with this. Because if that was the case, we'd have to put a jumper. We could put a jumper in here and pick up the top two. Alright, that's it. I got it all wired in. Nothing left over. The target reset, I went ahead and just put them on, wired them up. I mean, it was very simple. We got the black and blue and maroon and orange, and then you have your jumper coming up, the green, and then jumper going over. So both the bottoms are green, top, you know, are your colors or your reset. But everything else is done. I got it tidied up. Got some zippies on it. Like I said, I'm not gonna unsolder those, you know, the extras off of it, because I just want to leave them on in case for future reference or whatever. And we have an extra switch in here. This is a heavy one, and just in case we need a switch up there, which I doubt. So that's gonna do it for this video. We got everything all wired in, and this panel is ready to go down into the cabinet. I'm still waiting for some warmer weather so I can get out and wet sand my cabinet and get it clear coated, and then we can start assembling the cabinet and put all the put this panel back down in it, get the play field in it. I mean, we can start finishing up things now, and we can get it all the way to playing it. But this is wired in. I'm not going to say everything's right, but it's in. And everything that I've looked at, as far as running the schematics on this, everything looks good. But, you know, when you're doing something like this, you never know when, you know, one wire is off here, or you're missing a jumper or something like that. So, you know, we're going to run into, I think we're going to run into probably a few issues with this, but hopefully very few. So I hope you enjoyed this video, as long as it has been in the making as well. So I hope to see you on the next one, And don't forget, if you like this type of video, hit that like button and consider subscribing. Till next time. See ya.